Welcome back to History Today. I hope you enjoyed our last episode and the special following where you watched paint dry through the ages. Today, though, we have a very interesting story about a man named Bill Boland. This is Bill Boland. Things you have to know about him is that he loves to cook, draw, and he moved from Thailand with only his brother to the United States without his parents. Bill was born in the year 1961 in Bangkok, Thailand. As a young child, Bill and his brother would play and make friends just like other children. Their dad, Robert William Boland, moved to Thailand from the U.S. in 1959. He was a civilian contractor for the U.S. Air Force during the Vietnam War. This, of course, brought them many things like being higher up in the political ladder, so much so that Bill and his brother actually played with the young prince and princess of Thailand of the time. Robert, who goes by Bob, would always attend parties with high political powers in Thailand. But after the war, things got a little sketchy in Thailand. And that's why he told me this little story about what happened to him and his father.
So in about 1970-71, my father and I were walking down the street where our house was in the middle of Bangkok. It's a narrow little street, probably no wider than a car wide. It was getting dim. The sun was going down, and so the lighting was such that all we could see were silhouettes. But we were walking down the street. We were on our way to a little shop to get some food to eat. I was 10 years old, and we saw this dark figure jump out in front of us, probably about 50, 60 feet away. And all of a sudden, 3 flashes, 3 bangs, and you could literally hear the bullets going right by our heads as somebody was trying to take shots at my father. We were lucky, none of those bullets hit any of us. But it was certainly a sign that times were getting perilous and that we needed to get out of Thailand as soon as possible.
I'm gonna take my horse to the hotel. After this event, Bob, whose contract did not end for another 2 years, realized that it's not safe for his young boys to grow up in Thailand. So he made the very difficult decision to send them to a free U.S. where they would not be harmed. So there they were, 2 young boys boarding a TWA Airlines flight alone. They went from Bangkok to Hong Kong to Guam to Hawaii and finally landed in L.A. In L.A., they were picked up by a returned Mormon missionary whom they had known from Thailand. They were then dropped off at a bus station and had to ride the bus from L.A. to Abilene, Texas, all alone. There they met up with a family named the Baldwins, who graciously took them in and cared for them until their mother came the next year. I've always wondered what it would be like to drop everything in your home country and move to a completely different one that you didn't know. So I asked Bill what effect it had on him.
So I have no regrets being here in the United States. Life was hard for the first couple of years when we were here. My father couldn't find a job. We were on welfare for many years. My parents had divorced shortly after my father arrived to the United States. And we struggled through a lot of very difficult times. But I was able to maintain my grades and was able to qualify to go to Brigham Young University, where I attended and majored in, at first, art, but then settled on advertising. Met my wife there in college. We've had 34 wonderful years of marriage so far and hope for many, many more years to come. 2 great kids, both of whom are grown, both married. We're expecting our first grandchild in August, and we're extremely excited about that. I've had a great career selling software to some of the biggest companies in the world, for companies like Oracle and for IBM and Rational Software. We've sold over $60 million worth of product. I'm currently Vice President of Marketing for a startup company dealing with in the food industry, in food processing. I've been very blessed, very happy for what we've had here, even with all the struggles and all the difficulties that we had early on. I have lived the American dream and have lived the American life and love the blessings that I have here and feel like we're some of the luckiest people in the world.
To me, Bill's story was very interesting and inspiring. He moved to this brand new country, didn't know anyone, didn't know anything about it, except that he would be free from all the violence in Thailand at the time. Now, he did take this and make a beautiful life out of it, and I applaud him for that. And I hope you will too. So join me next time on History Today when we watch a baby armadillo walk across the street. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.